Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Wednesday thus far. Staying healthy, staying positive, peaceful, productive, efficient, all that type of good stuff, man. I give y'all about 5, 6 minutes to tap in with the kid. I got about 45 to build today, man. Once again, short on time, wasn't expecting to do this, but got something on the mind that I want to build on, so y'all already know what it is. So what's the word? How y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Wednesday? Talk to me before I start talking to y'all. Again, y'all see the subject matter, man. Y'all see the subject matter, man. We talking about working on self. That's one of my consistent themes, especially when I'm talking to my brothers, man. Work on yourself before you start focusing on all this other nonsense that's out here, man. But what's the word, man? How everybody living? Lindell, peace. What's happening with you, my brother? What's the word? My brother Antonio, what's happening, bro? What's the word? How everybody living and feeling, man? You know, I would have been reading during this time, man. I'm waiting on the book to arrive. You know what I'm saying? Got a book coming. You know, waiting on that joint to arrive. I'm gonna break it down once it get here. Bobby, my brother, peace. What's happening? Everybody living and feeling. What's the word? You know, we talking about working on self. Y'all see what it is, man. I be seeing people, seeing a lot of brothers talking about, you know, getting passports, traveling overseas to find women and things like that. Whole while a lot of these dudes, some of these dudes don't be making the strides that they need to make internally as far as working on themselves. So it's like at the end of the day, man, if you don't do the work on yourself and you continue to remain trash or whatever the case may be, that's what you're going to track. Whether you in the States or whether you overseas, you know, you're just going to track trash if that's the type of person you are, you know. So you need to do that internal work first. Or else again, you're gonna go right overseas and find yourself in a trash situation with another trash individual, you know. So always prioritize putting that work on self, you know. But at the end of the day, man, I feel like just for me conversing with not even just a lot of brothers, man, it's people on both sides. Everybody just be feeling like it's other people and it's never them. So that's why I feel like that's another reason why a lot of these things don't ever pan out, because nobody feels like they have a problem. You know, everybody feels like, oh, it's these women or it's these men. And ain't nobody really doing the self work, you know, that needs to be done, because we think it's everybody else with the problem, you know. So now we running overseas or we running to different cities and all of this type of stuff, thinking that, well, it's not it's not us, it's them. You know, so then we go overseas, we move to different states and cities and things like that, and we keep finding ourselves in similar situations, man. That's because nobody is doing the work on themselves, man. Like straight up. Magic, peace, peace. What's happening? Healthy black pill diet, peace. What's the word? You know, that at the end of the day, man, no matter where you at, like you can find a great situation no matter where you at. Like flat out. Again, you just got to do the work though. Do the work on yourself, man. Again, you're gonna attract exactly what it is that you need. We be doing a lot of chasing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to be flying somewhere where my sole objective is to, you know what I'm saying, get the women over there. Now, if you traveling just to travel, you just so happen to stumble upon you just so happen to stumble upon a situation, then that's all good. It's all good. You know, but when you go into these places with the sole intention of getting the women down there because you feel like the women in the States or the women where you at, or they're not submissive and all this, they don't listen and all this type of good stuff, man. All right. If you don't feel like you have a problem, if you don't feel like you didn't play the role in any of your situations not going the way you would like them to go, then nah. Got some more work that needs to be done. Got some more work that needs to be done for sure. Jeff Feast, what's happening? What's the word? Hey, July the Empress. Man, I didn't I'm already knowing because I didn't got attacked for saying this. Yeah, I didn't got attacked. I didn't got attacked. Listen, I didn't got attacked by dudes several times for some of the things that I have said. I didn't got attacked plenty of times, but it don't bother me none, you know, because when the dudes attack me, that just further proves my point at times about how unstable and emotional we are. But we always, like I say, a lot of times we critique the women and say they unstable creatures and they overly emotional and things like that. But then we tend to disprove that when dudes get overly emotional when somebody says something that they don't like, you know. So I didn't been attacked plenty of times for some of these statements that I have made, but I'm on the side of like truth, of dealing in reality. I really don't care to tend to anybody's feelings, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna speak the truth how I see it, and I never really care who it offends. If it offends anybody, I really don't care. I'm gonna call it how I see it, you know. Terenzo, peace, what's happening? Oh, Bobby, for sure. And that's what I'm talking about. If you travel, you know what I'm saying, for peace for any other reason, that's right and exact. That's right and exact. That's cool. That's the reason why you travel. But if your sole intention is I'm traveling, I'm going overseas to find a woman, man, that's nope. That's not really the way to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not really the way to do that. Like, if your sole intention, your sole purpose is like I'm going overseas to find love, that's trash. Now, if you just traveling for new experiences, for peace and things like that, man, I ain't even tapping into you. That's ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you traveling with the sole intention of like I'm finding love because these women here are garbage, nah, like that's who I'm talking to. Like, I'm talking to you, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking to that particular male, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's garbage and that's trash, you know. Ray, peace, what's happening? Terrell, peace, what's the word? Cribbit 2 times, peace, what's happening? Yeah, hey, Cribbit 2 times. I've been tapped into your joint. You know what I'm saying? I've been tapped into it. I've been tapped into it for sure. I've been peeping it. I've been peeping it. Terezzo, is that it's definitely nothing new, you know. But you know how it is now with social media. You know what they say is nothing new under the sun. But now with social media, we see all of this stuff a lot more. But nothing is new under the sun. Like, even like these school shootings and all these mass shootings that's going on. Man, nothing new under the sun, man. Like, shoot, all of this stuff had been going on. You know, we didn't serial killers and all that. We didn't have all of this. Nothing is new under the sun. But when you got social media, man, it's brought to the surface a lot more. We see it a lot more than we did back in the day. But nothing is new under the sun at all. Like, at all. But I think it's funny, you know what I'm saying? When people really sleep on the power of working on self, fam. Like, people really sleep on the power of attracting things to self when you work on self. Man, we sleep on that. We sleep on that power, man. We sleep on that power, man. We sleep on it. We sleep on it. I'm telling you, y'all, we sleep on the power of self. You know what I'm saying? We sleep on the law of attraction. We sleep on it. We sleep on that big time. Like, for real. You know, we think we got to change our circumstances. Oh, things ain't going right. I need a change of scenery. That might work for you, but you need a change of internal scenery. You know what I'm saying? You need to change up the way you view yourself. You know, that is when you will start to change in life. You know what I'm saying? But again, we sleep on it. We always feel like we got to change up the external and not the internal. Oh, I need to move. Or I need to start going overseas. Like, nah, you need to move internally. You need to relocate internally and watch how your world changes when you do that. Watch how your world changes when you relocate internally. You know what I'm saying? Just watch. Lindell, 100%. I tell people that all the time. I tell people that I tell dudes that all the time. You know what I'm saying? And dudes get mad when I tell them that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, if you dealing with sisters in the wilderness of North America, United States of America, whatever you want to call it, and they not listening to you, and I just told brothers, I'm like, man, you might not be saying anything worth listening to. You know what I'm saying? Your magnetic might not be as strong as you would like. Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might not be saying you might not be saying anything worth listening to. Your magnetic might not be as powerful and strong as you think. You know what I'm saying? You might not have that magnetic ability or that magnetic charm. Like, it's magnetism, man. We got to understand what we really dealing with when we talking about relationships and attraction and things like that, man. It's magnetism, it's electricity, it's all of this good stuff, man. It's energy. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have a certain level of magnetism to reel in the queen that you like, or the queen that you want, or the queen that you need. You got to have a certain level of magnetism, man. You got to have it, man. Your magnetic has to be strong. You know, we talk about that within my culture, man. You got to have that magnetism to pull them in. Magnetic. That's what the magnetism is. You pulling them in. That's magnetic. A lot of you brothers lack that. You know, you got to work on that. You don't have anything to pull them in and keep them in. You know what I'm saying? And that's just an actual fact. You got to work on that. Or you just might not be, like I said yesterday, you just might not be compatible with the sister that you trying to get with, or the type of sisters that you trying to get with. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But a lot of brother, man, you gotta work on that magnetism, man. You gotta work on it, man. You gotta have some. Listen, you gotta bring something to that table, like mentally. Like I said, we talk about it all the time. Man being the foundation. You know, in the culture that I come from, that foundation, it represents knowledge. You know, so you gotta have your intellect, man. It has got to be on point. It has got to be on point. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna be the foundation to that family. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be dependent on you for that. So that gotta be strong, fam. That's gotta be strong, straight up. That's why I say working on yourself is a powerful thing. When a sister comes across that brother that has worked on himself and has knowledge of himself, knows who he is, and walks and lives in his truth, boom, they attracted. At least the one that you need gonna be attracted to that, and she willing to follow you wherever. You know what I'm saying? Oh, July, for sure, man. I tell people all the time, man, I wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't accept certain truths. And it was some ugly truths that was told to me, some ugly truths that I came across, but I had to accept them. I had to accept them, or at least had to listen, consider them, in order for me to make the changes that I have made in my life. You know what I'm saying? So always be open. Always be open, man. If you instantly get offended by something, then you need to go back and reevaluate it, because you probably got offended because it was the truth. You know what I'm saying? So like when somebody say something, you just instantly get offended, like they probably said something that was truthful. So you need to tap back into what was said. Bobby, for sure. And like I say, if you traveling, you know what I'm saying, you traveling for peace, for experiences, like if you just so happen, and that's how it works. When you working on yourself, Bobby, in your same situation, and you just traveling just to be traveling, whatever you need is gonna come to you. If it's here, or if it's in one of the 4 countries that you traveling to, it's gonna come to you, because you ain't out here looking for it. Like, that ain't your sole objective, you know. Yeah, Jeff, man, I'm trying to tell you, notifications all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? Black Pill Revolution, peace. What's happening? And I tell people that all the time, man. You've been with yourself the longest. You know what I'm saying? So why not tap into that? You know, you've been with yourself the longest. Nobody has been on this planet with you longer than you. So why not get to know yourself? That don't even, you know what I'm saying? Get to know yourself. Tap in. Tap in. Miss Black Peace, what's happening? Bobby, you say, I'll put that question on the screen. You say, what do men say to you when you tell them to improve? It depends on what area we speaking on. You know, it depends on what area we speaking on. And it ain't even necessarily what they say that bothers me. It's what they do. after the conversation. Like it ain't even about them verbally disagreeing with me or we going back and forth verbally when I tell them areas where they can improve. I pay attention to the actions after the conversation. I pay attention to the actions after the conversation because people can tell you anything. So I don't really, when we having conversations about improvement, things like that, people will tell you anything. They'll tell you that they go like me being a trainer, they gonna tell me, oh yeah, I'm gonna stop drinking. They'll tell me that they, you know what I'm saying, gonna lay off of the cheese, lay off of the dairy, lay off of the snacks, all of that. They tell me this, but they don't do it. So I pay attention to the actions. I don't care what somebody gonna tell me when we start talking about improvement. You know, so when I point out some things, when a brother come to me and ask me a question, I don't really care about what they telling me. I pay attention to what they do after I point out some things. And the action's always garbage. Not, I ain't gonna say always, like 80, 90% of the time. That's for real. That's why I be hating giving like what they call advice sometimes, man. Cause my goodness, feel like I be wasting energy, wasting breath, wasting words. You know, but I didn't have plenty of conversations, man, with close homeboys. You know, I done had some serious conversations where I like legit would have homeboys in near tears, you know what I'm saying? Talking about how foul a woman is, and then they're that same breath turn around and tell me about 2 or 3 other women that they dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you accusing this sister of doing X, Y, and Z, whole while you got 3 or 4 other women that you dealing with. I'm like, you don't see the problem there? Like, you don't see the hypocrisy? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we got to start here. You don't see the hypocrisy, bro? That's called karma. You bringing this upon yourself. So then when I start pointing these things out, then I see them 2-3 months later. You think they dropped these other women? No. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't even want to have no conversation with you. You know, you out here crying about this woman not letting you see your kids. All right, cool, maybe so. But then you talking about all the foul stuff that you not only did when you was with her, but then the stuff that you are currently doing. It's like, man, all your focus need to go on getting custody of your kids. Why are you still out here creeping with 3 or 4 women? Why are you going through this situation? I don't understand that. So I'm like, you really bringing this upon yourself, man. Your priorities messed up. You know, I tell them straight like that, like your priorities messed up, man. You shouldn't be worried about sleeping around with 3 or 4 different women when you say this chick playing hardball with your kid. All your energy should be going towards custody of the kid. Why are you messing with all these other women? You giving her more ammunition and you actually making her more upset. That don't even make no sense. You know, but I didn't have them conversations. Then I see them 3 months later, they still out here doing the same thing. It's like you're not listening. But you want to cry, you want to make all the women the enemy. Like, no. Priorities, bro. You know, but I done had them type of conversations with dudes and it goes in one ear, out the other. So I don't even be wanting to give advice sometimes, man, because I'm like, I already know what dudes gonna do. Dudes gonna do what they want to do. Just like we say the women gonna do what they want to do. So I just start paying attention to the actions when I get that type of advice. And I don't just go out of my way to analyze a person's situation because I be too caught up on my own little situation, my own world, what I got going on. I be focused on myself. But dudes to come and ask me questions, which that makes it even worse. You came and asked me for my opinion or advice or whatever, and then I give it to you and you just not gonna listen. But nah, I'm done with dudes. I'm done with women playing the blame game. Like, chill out with all that. You know, yeah, she might be playing hardball with your kids, but what did you do to contribute to that? While you was with her, while she was pregnant, you was cheating on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have this is I've had these conversations. You know what I'm saying? The dude get a girl pregnant, get the cheating on her while she pregnant. Every excuse in the book as to why he did that. Then they had a kid. He tried to be loyal for like 3 days, go back to cheating. Then she finally gets fed up with it. She knew he was cheating on her, finally get fed up with it. And now she playing hardball. I was like, dude, you shouldn't have been doing none of that. You didn't got caught. Now she playing hardball. Now she the enemy. Like, man, dude, what was that when she was housing your child for 9 months and you were still out here living your best life? What is that? You know what? I didn't like, dudes don't be wanting to hear me when I say that to them. They just want me to be like, yeah, she foul. She shouldn't be doing that. She shouldn't be using the kid. But you shouldn't. She was housing. She had to walk around with her belly out You know what I'm saying? She had to walk around with her belly out, dealing with postpartum depression. She had to deal with all of this while you out here living your best life. Like, nah. I don't have sympathy for what's coming your way when you did that. You know what I'm saying? So for real, work on yourself. Work on yourself. Work on yourself. When I gets to going in on dudes like that, because I will go in on the dude. You know, I'm gonna go in on the dude. I'm gonna tell dude the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna go in when they ask me that type of stuff, man, because it's like, come on, man, we gotta be better than that. Because the world, listen, the world already, they waiting for us. We don't have many chances to slip up out here. You know, so we gotta be on point, we gotta stay on point, and we gotta check each other. You know, so when I bear witness to these ways and actions, man, especially when it's somebody I know, man, you gotta check your brother, man. You gotta check your people. You know, so when a brother comes to me and wants my honest opinion, man, I gotta give it to him raw like that. Real, man. We gotta quit playing out here. We gotta quit BSing. Cause we at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? We are literally at the bottom, man. If we gonna rise to the top, we gotta get it together. You know, and we gotta check each other though. For real. Moni, peace, what's happening? Airview, peace. Prodigal son, man. Peace to everybody. Peace to everybody tapping in. Peace to everybody tapping in. Maurice, man, never let your desire for women, never let your desire for anything overcloud your purpose. Like straight up. Like straight up. But man, I didn't been in the business just as a trainer. You know, as a personal trainer, we low key therapists on the low. You know what I'm saying? Like, we therapists on the low. A lot of people come to us with problems and things like that, man. And I didn't train brothers and all that, man. It's just it's hard to get through with some of the brothers, man. It's hard to get through with some of the sisters, man. But it's definitely hard to get through to some of the brothers, man. A lot of times it's ego and pride when it comes to man-to-man conversations, man. Ego and pride. A lot of times we have problems putting that ego and pride to the side. I done been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? I done been there, done that. So that be the problem when I start having a lot of conversations with dudes, especially if they older than me. I'm like, man, I don't even know why you asking for my advice, because I already know how this finna go. But a lot of times it be ego and pride, and we have a hard time letting those things go and just being open to what the other person is saying or what the other man is saying. Instead, we want to argue, go back and forth, this, that, and third. I ain't got time for that, man. I ain't got time for that. I'm a person of accountability. I know I did dirt back in the day. You know, a lot of things that's deemed as bad that come back to me is a result of my actions, of my past actions. I accept everything that happens to me. I accept my role in it. I'm not really looking to blame somebody. If I blame somebody, it's just an emotional outburst at that time. But then when I double back, it's like, nah, I'm at fault. I played a role in everything that has happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up, that's how I live my life. That's how I live my life. Whether it was my mindset that attracted it, something that I did in the past and came back to haunt me, whatever the case may be. I played a role in everything that happened to me that I don't necessarily like. I own up to it. I own up to it. You know, I ain't no saint, never been a saint. You know, so there's going to be things that happen to me in my life that I'm not too fond of. You know, that's on me. Keep it going. Make adjustments. I'm not blaming people. Don't do anything for me. I don't even, it does nothing for me. It does absolutely nothing for me. Like nothing. I don't even care. I don't even care if it was like 80% the other person's fault. I still had 20% in that. So I'm going to focus on the 20%. Like, I just don't be caring to be blaming folk, man. I don't care to do that because I can't control what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I can't control that. You know, I can't control that. So me sitting there pointing a finger, you did it. It's on you. You the reason why I'm here. Like, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that at all. So I'm big on holding myself accountable for everything that has come to me in life. I'm big on that. Like, every time I sit down and evaluate things that have happened to me in life, I played a role in all of it. I played a role in all of it. And you do too. When you analyze your life and all the things that has happened to you. You played a role in everything that has happened to you. It couldn't have happened to you without you existing. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you played a role just by existing. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you get to the bottom of it. That's how you get to the bottom of all these things, man. I ain't here to blame nobody. That's why I tell people, work on yourself. That's why that's always my advice. Work on yourself, fam. When somebody brings a situation to me, I never focus on the other person. I don't even care what I be telling. I'm like, I don't care what they did. What did you do? You know what I'm saying? Y'all had a dispute. How did you move? How did you respond? How did you react? Like, what were your movements during the dispute, during the altercation? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna focus on that. The other person ain't here. They not here to tell their side of the story, so I don't really care what you telling me. It's two sides to every story. You know, so I need to know what you did. And we're gonna go from there. We're gonna focus on what you did. That's how I like to do it. That's how I like to roll. You know, when people come to me and tell me about a scenario, I really don't like when they tell me about what the other person was doing, because I already know it's two sides to every story. If I heard the same story from the other person, it's gonna be totally different. So let's just focus on what you did. Like that, that's what I like to do. That's how I like to, you know what I'm saying, resolve problems, conflict resolution. What did you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did you, because you did something. You did something. All real for sure. And we talk about that all the time, you know, and that's why we say that's why the symbolism of man being the head of the household. That's the mind. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these brothers, we got to work on the mind. Like, what are you feeding the mind? You know, you can't be the head of the household with a messed up mind. You know what I'm saying? If we gonna be the head of the household, we got to have our minds right. That's the key. You know, if the woman is gonna be the heart, you know, so she got to make sure her heart is in the right place. If her heart is in the right place and your mind is in the right place, the household is gonna be run smoothly. But the problem is we got we got men that got messed up minds, and we got women that got some just cold hearts out here now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why these households are very dysfunctional. Or the roles are then switched on us. You know what I'm saying? Where the woman might be the head, might have the mind, and the dude got the heart. And it's just all out of whack, because that ain't how it's supposed to be going. You know what I'm saying? You got to operate that mind. She got that heart. Balance each other out. Boom. We going according to nature. The household runs smoothly. But man, a lot of dudes messed up minds, women with the cold heart. Y'all come together. We got a very dysfunctional crib. Or you got the woman got to be at the head and the man messing around with the heart, so he all emotional all over the place. Boom, dysfunctional household. You got to have a man with the right mindset, mind frame, and you got the woman with the pure heart. We good. We good. Nothing we cannot accomplish with that duality, you know, with that combination. Just like, man, hypocrisy is very, very common, you know, and I be having to point it out when people start saying things. When people talk, you let people talk long enough, you see the hypocrisy comes right out. Like, you just let them keep talking. Wes, 100%. You already know I know about people not wanting to listen. Like I said, certified personal trainer, man. You know how many times certified personal trainer, man. I've been plant-based, vegan, vegetarian, all that good stuff for like 12 plus years, and I still have a hard time getting people to listen in regards to, hey, you can not eat this, you cannot eat meat, you cannot eat this and still thrive. And I'm living proof. Like, I'm right in their faces, and they seeing how my body can transform, and they seeing the strength that I have. I'm like, I'm living proof, and I still have a hard time getting them to listen. So I already know. It'd be ridiculous. Cameron, peace. What's happening? Bobby, 100%. And that's how I always move, man. That's how I've moved in every situation. Now, at first, in my younger years, I was just like, I ain't even gonna say I blame women in my younger years. I didn't even care. Like, I just didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just did not care. I didn't care about what I did. I ain't even care about who fought it. I just didn't care. Like I was foul, I didn't care. You know, so then when I look back on that type of stuff, I'm like, yep, you know, I'm probably receiving a lot of karma for just not caring about people's feelings and things like that, you know. So I accept everything that happens to me, man. Good, bad, or indifferent. You know, I'm gonna learn a lesson from all of it, so it's all good. Hey, I'm gonna learn a lesson. I'm gonna learn a lesson from everything. July, you say unity is the answer to fixing our community. Funny that you say that, man. Back some years ago, I wrote that. I rapped that in a song. Well, I ain't rapping like that, but you know, I was like, there is no unity in our communities. Let's tighten the gap. What I say? I said dark skin versus light skin. Brothers don't like to be black. No unity in our communities. Let's tighten the gap. Like that's what man, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I was preaching that, as they say, some years ago. You know what I'm saying? We was dark skin versus light skin, all that type of garbage. You know what I'm saying? There was no unity in the community, and we still 7, 8 years later, we still here, same position, same predicament. Same predicament. You know what I'm saying? The dark skin versus light skin, that's still a thing, and we still lack the unity in the community. You know what I'm saying? So we still have not tightened the gap. So I'm like, I rapped that in the song like 7, 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And here we are. Same problem. Same problems. Black Pill Revolution. Oh yeah, man. Man, yeah. And what's crazy is like you got, yeah, men definitely put sex at the top. You got a lot of men that do that, but man, a lot of these women do that too. A lot of these women do that too. Yeah, a lot of women do that too. It's crazy, you know. And again, we wonder why we walk into situations that don't work. Because look at where our minds are at. Look at the things that we focusing on and we prioritizing. Like, dude, look at what's at the top of your list. It'd be crazy out here. Bobby, for sure, man. I'm hip. You know, I train some African brothers. So I be, man, listen, I be talking to all type of people. I be talking to all type of people, you know, and it's a lot that we don't know, you know, and when you try to have these conversations, others don't be trying to listen. That's what makes me mad. It's like, man, y'all, we could talk about nonsense and I got your attention. But now when it's time to build on something serious, now your attention span is garbage. You ain't locked in, you ain't tapped in. I can't stand that, man. But that's been the way of the world for a minute. When you try to have serious conversations, man, you try to talk about things that can actually elevate people, man, and they don't want to hear that. Talk about the nonsense and they tapped in. Talk about the drama, they tapped in, tapped all the way in. You know, for real. Dread Mike, peace. What's happening? Red Paper Peace. D, you say got a book recommendation that may relate to the current subject. Ooh, man, this subject is pretty much, my opinion, knowledge itself. So anytime I deal with knowledge itself, I recommend the same books. Message to the Black Man in America, Elijah Muhammad. Uh, The Science of Self by Supreme Understanding. The Righteous Way. That's another good book. You could look that joint up. Starmel Allah. The Righteous Way. That's a good book. Who else we got? Like the Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey. Like all of these books help with knowledge of self in regards to the black man. You know, these are books that I feel like black men need to read. Of course, the autobiography of Malcolm X, man, that's like the GOAT book of that. And there's a few other books, but like those are some of the starter books. You know, Revolutionary Suicide, Huey Newton, Soul on Ice. Like these are books that contribute to knowledge of self or help a brother establish some type of foundation. You know, so those books are important when it comes to working on self. You got to have a knowledge of like yourself and your history, you know. And a lot of brothers, you would be surprised, a lot of brothers lack that. You know, and that's why I say you the foundation, man. You got to come into the gate teaching, man. You can't teach no history to your queen, fam. She teaching you. She teaching you the history of yourself. Like that's not how it's supposed to go. Not saying that she can't offer those like she can't offer insight and knowledge to you, but man, you need to be coming in there with that foundation, man. Why is she teaching you? Got you reading about Marcus Garvey? You know what I'm saying? Like you need to be coming in there with that foundation solidified. You need to be putting her on. You know what I'm saying? JD, peace, what's happening? Oh yeah, hey Bobby, yeah, that K Dot album for sure. Yeah, probably. I ain't even even gonna lie. Personal situation, like my old dude, my pops, we had a situation back in the day. I mean, it had nothing to do with me, but they tried to get my pops to go to therapy, like little family therapy there, man, and dude wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? Like dude wasn't, did not last. Dude just wasn't going. Dude wasn't going. And it was pride and ego. Pride and ego. Like dude just wasn't going. He wasn't going for the therapy. He didn't feel like he was the problem. He didn't feel like he played a role in the reason why they needed to go to therapy. So you know what I'm saying? I seen that up close and personal. Jarrell, peace, what's happening? Mr. Keeler, peace, what's happening? CEO, you say, what if the household is messing up the mind? Now, CEO, you're gonna have to break down how the household could be messing up the mind without the mind contributing to the mess. So you're gonna have to break down how the household could mess with the mind without the mind playing a role in what's causing the mess. So I don't feel like the household can mess with the mind without the mind contributing to the mess. So if the mind is contributing to the mess in any way, shape, or form, then he is a part of what is causing this mess. You know, and what's causing the dysfunction in the household. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we all, if you got a household and you got the man, well, you got the mind and you got the heart, and this household is dysfunctional, it ain't never just one person causing the dysfunction. I don't even care if it appears that way. Even if it appears as if one person is just toxic, then this other person is guilty because they are allowing this to go on. Because there's no gun in your head, you know, so you are allowing this to go on. So that's your role. You are allowing this person, like you are accepting it. What they say, you are what you eat. You also are what you allow. So if you allow somebody to be in your life and be toxic, that's on you. You playing a role in that. You allowing this person to be in your life and be toxic to you, causing dysfunction. So that's your role in it. You guilty. You ain't gotta allow that. You not have to. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta allow none of that. you ain't gotta allow somebody in your life. You ain't gotta put up with none of this nonsense for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to put up with that. You don't have to put up with somebody being toxic. But if you continue to decide to do that, and this person then demonstrated time after time that they not gonna change, then I'm going to assume that you like that. It's something about that you like. I guess that's very safe to assume. If you with a person and they just extra toxic, and I'm just talking from just on the surface, like this person just straight toxic, like boom, there's nothing positive about this person, straight toxic, and they not displaying any type of behavioral changes, like they not trying to alter their behavior at all, make any type of changes to evolve and elevate and grow, and you continue to remain with that person, and you give me some lame excuses, I'm going to assume that you like subconsciously like this type of individual. There ain't no way. You don't have to continue to remain with somebody that's toxic, like at all. So, like I said, I don't even care if it appears as if it's 100% this other person just tripping. You are allowing this. You are allowing that, especially as a man. You are allowing it as a man. You are allowing that. You are allowing this sister to disrespect you. You don't have to put up with that. If you allow a person to disrespect you one time, they're gonna do it again. And if you allow them to do it again, they're gonna do it a third time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how that goes. You got to shut that stuff down. This is coming from a small guy. Like I'm not the biggest guy in the room. I might be close to the smallest guy in the room, but every room that I done been in, I ain't never done got messed with. Like I ain't never been bullied. I ain't never been picked on. Dudes don't mess with me, never mess with me. And I've always been one of the smallest dudes wherever I went. But dudes ain't gonna mess with me simply because I'm not gonna tolerate no disrespect. I'm not gonna bother you, but then if you bother me, I'm not gonna let that happen. You know, I ain't, whether it be another man, whether it be a woman, you not finna talk to me crazy. You not about to, you just not gonna do that. No, like I never tolerate that. And to a fault. Like I used to get into it with my parents because I ain't like when people talk to me crazy. So you are what you allow, man. Somebody talking to me crazy and I don't like what they said, man. I'm gonna say something. Like you're not gonna get that off on me. You know, so you gotta, you don't allow that. I ain't allowing somebody to be toxic around me. That's gonna have to get corrected. You're gonna have to get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. You're gonna have to put in some work or you're gonna have to get some help. But you're not about to continue to be toxic around me. I'm not about to allow that. I'm not only doing myself a disservice, I'm doing you a disservice. Like I'm not gonna allow that. We about growth and evolution around here, you know? And as the man, like you gotta, come on. That's on you, man. Get these people up on their feet. Help them out. I ain't going. Like I ain't about to listen. We ain't going. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not about to let nobody talk to me crazy. That's man, woman, child, elder, you know, and that don't mean when I say that don't mean, oh, I got to get physical, or that don't mean I got to be disrespectful back to a person. No, I'm just going to check somebody when they say something to me that's not right. You know, and that's how I've always been able to just go to places and be in rooms and know nobody be messing with the kid. Because we not going for that. Like y'all not about to walk over me, because you let somebody walk over you, then somebody else sees that, and now they gonna take advantage of you. Like, no. FH, peace, what's happening? FH 100%. I called them weirdos a minute ago, and dudes came at me crazy. But I don't really care when dudes come at me crazy, man. I'm not here to make friends. You know what I'm saying? I gotta I call it how I see it. So I ain't here to make friends. I ain't here to have the whole world follow me or nothing like that. Like I ain't here for none of that. You know, I'm gonna call it out how I see it. If you don't like how I see it, you could tap into another platform. I'm pretty sure you'll like how they see it. You know. Hey, cribbing 2 times, my man, for sure. I'm never gonna give up on my people. Although sometimes I get frustrated dealing with my people. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I understand our condition. You know, so I don't give up on them, man. But it gets rough. It get rough. You know, I get passionate. You know what I'm saying? When I get to talking to my people, talking about my people, things like that. Like sometimes that passion, it takes over. You know, you get a little frustrated these days, man, when you just pay attention to certain things, man. Like I just don't like it. I don't like disrespect. I don't like disrespect in regards to black women at all. I don't like disrespect towards black men. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like none of that. I don't like none of that. And I especially don't like the fact that I know that there's other people sitting back laughing at us, clapping their hands like, yep, y'all feeding right into what it is we want you to feed into. Ha, we got them. Like that's what bothers me the most. When we be going back and forth like this, and I know that it's an unseen hand. I mean, I see the hand, but it's an unseen hand that's sitting back and they laughing at us because we fitting right into the agenda. I'm mad. Like that's what makes me mad. That's when my passion starts to release, because I know they sitting back laughing like this was all planned out. Like this is exactly how they want us to be moving towards one another. And that's what we doing. That's when that's what makes me upset sometimes. You know, so I'll be like, come on, man, we fitting right into the agenda. Bam, right into the agenda when we start going back and forth with one another. Here we go. They sitting back laughing like, look at them. We got them. Once again, they will never progress. They will never reach this level because look at them. Everything starts at home. The home is dysfunctional. So they got us. You know what I'm saying? They got us. They got us. And I cannot stand it. I can't stand that. I can't stand when I cannot stand it. Like they got us. You know what I'm saying? Like they got us going back and forth with our women. That it don't get any worse than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they really got that divide and conquer is fullest. They got us. They got us. Like they got us 100%. They got us. You know what I'm saying? Like that back and forth like that we be doing. It's redundant, not productive. Like, man, I tap in, man. I tap into some things just to see some comments. You know, and some of the comments I be seeing, I'm like, man, what are y'all on? Like, what are y'all, what are we on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we on when we do that? Like, what are we on, man? I be seeing the comments, man. I be seeing the comments. It be crazy. It'd be crazy, man. The way some of the dudes be going in on the sisters, the way the sisters be going in on the dudes. I'm like, man, this is not productive. It's not productive. E. Archer. Okay, so nah, that's what I'm saying. So the passport, because this is the thing, people misconstrue things. If you traveling for the right reasons, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? You traveling, like Bobby say, you traveling for peace. Hey, change, you want to see new things, this, that, and the third. My problem is if you calling yourself a passport bro and you traveling with the whole objective to find women overseas, and then you do it at the expense of trashing black women in the United States, unnecessary. And that's foul and that's wicked and it is trash. You can go overseas and deal with these women, but you don't have to do that at the expense of talking down on sisters in the United States, in the wilderness of North America, whatever you want to call it. We do understand that we don't have to do that all the time. And a lot of times I've seen some of them brothers do that. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't, but then we call women bitter. That sounds bitter to me from the male perspective. You know, we call women bitter when they do things like put you on child support because you're trying to move on. But then dudes will go overseas and be like, you black women in the United States, y'all don't listen, y'all don't do this, y'all don't do that. I did all of this for y'all and y'all don't do. That is just as bitter in regards to how it sounds. Bro, just go overseas and get your woman and shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you do that, then I'm cool with what you own. But man, you ain't got to go overseas and then, oh, I got my Puerto Rican, y'all black women. I tried to give y'all chance after chance, and y'all, man, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do that. And a lot of times when these brothers go over, not even when they go overseas, when they get a white woman, they do the same thing, just like a sister would do it. A sister get a white dude and start talking bad about. You don't have to do that. You can go dabble with the other side, other ethnic groups and other cultures without having to let the black men and women here know what you're doing. We don't care. Do you? But you don't have to talk bad about us in the process. You don't have to talk bad. If you are a sister and you got you a white guy, or you went overseas and got you an Arab or something, whatever the case may be, you don't have to do that at the expense of trashing us here. Same for the brothers, man. Go overseas, get your woman. But you ain't got to talk bad about the sisters. You ain't got to do that. Then if you do that, that's sounding bitter. And that's sounding like you went over there with some weird intentions. You know, but if you traveling for the right reasons, man, I ain't got no problem with that. As we have established, nothing is new under the sun. That's how we do it. But man, if your whole objective is to find women, that is and it ain't even got to be just passport. If I tell people in the United States, I tell brothers here, don't chase women. I tell brothers here, focus on yourself. and you're gonna attract what it is that you what it is that you need, or who it is that you need. So I tell brothers, hear that. You know what I'm saying? So when you traveling and that's your whole reason for traveling, man, that's gonna always be trash. We should never make that our whole objective is to chase women, find women, this, that, and the third. Man, focus on yourself, and what you need will come to you. Whether you traveling overseas, whether you moving to another state, focus on yourself. Don't move to another state thinking, oh, I'm finna find some women over here. You from St. Louis, you moving to California, I'm finna go deal with these Cali women. Like, stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? Just chill out, work on yourself. So again, if you traveling for the right reasons, I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking specifically to the brothers that I have seen with my two eyes, as I talked about. I be tapped in. I'm one of them. I be tapped in. So I be seeing some of these brothers and they be on that. And I have had conversations with some brothers that be on that got this type of mindset. So I'm dealing specifically with them. I'm talking to them and about them. You know, if you don't fit that bill, you good, you cool with me. But if you traveling and that's your whole reason for traveling, you got to focus on yourself, man. You got to do some internal work, you know, and travel just to travel, man. And if your queen is over on one of the, you know, overseas somewhere, and you traveling for the right reasons, then it's gonna happen. It's gonna unfold. Terenzo, my brother, appreciate the donation. Oh yeah, a lot of people think being checked is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But it's nowhere near that. It's nowhere near that. It's nowhere near that. You say nobody got proof of trashing anybody. I'ma see, I can go screenshot. I'm gonna just start getting back in the chat because I don't got time to do that, but I can screenshot some things that I done seen in some of these chats though. You know, I done seen that. Comparing ain't even, see, this is the problem that I have with that. First of all, comparing, like, you got low key, you got things that you got. I'm gonna bring up some words. You got overt, just like you got overt racism and you got covert racism. So you got people that's racist that's in the closet, and you got people that's racist up in your face. This passport situation is the same way. You got people that's overt with it. You got people that's covert with it. When people start doing things like comparing and contrasting, why are you doing that? That's unnecessary. Like, if you go over there, if I go overseas and I find my woman, I don't need to compare this group of women to that group of women. That group of women. I don't need to do that. You found something over here that you like, just go ahead and deal with that. Why? What point are you making by comparing? Because this is the problem I have. You haven't dated every woman in the United States. So you only comparing these overseas women to the type of women that you dated in the United States. So again, that's null and void because you haven't dated every woman in the United States. You've only dated a particular type, which is your type here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can save the comparing and the contrasting because you only dated how many women? How many women has a man? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, cool, you went overseas, you found what you like, but man, you ain't got to necessarily bring in the sisters over here and put them in that. You don't have to do that. It is okay with going overseas and say, I found love or I found my whatever, and not talk about your other people here. Do we understand that that is cool to do? The moment I start making it a compare and contrast thing, that's sketchy to me. Because why am I doing that in the first place? Why do I feel the need to do that? I don't need to do that, man. Go overseas, find your whatever you're looking for, get it, and be quiet. You don't have to talk. You don't have to do that. Because it don't even be no comparing and contrasting. It be simply, oh, these women overseas do this, and these black women over here don't do this. In order for you to compare and contrast, I need to see pros and cons. I don't see a lot of these dudes talking about the pros of the black women when they go find a woman overseas. So I don't think that's comparing and contrasting, fam. Like I think that's, oh, these women over here do this, y'all need to get like them. That's what I have seen. So I don't know what proof you need, fam, but I have seen that more than enough times. Oh, these women overseas are submissive. They listen. Black women, y'all don't. Bro, that's not comparing and contrasting. That's saying they submissive over here, y'all not. That's the reason why y'all ain't got no men. That's bashing, fam. Like, and that's what I've heard. That's what I've seen. So we not gonna sugarcoat it. We not gonna romanticize what some of these brothers did. Y'all, they submissive over here, Puerto Rico, whatever, wherever they went. Black women don't be listening. Y'all hard-headed. Y'all need to get like the women over here. This is what I've heard. Where is that comparing and contrasting? Fam, you dealt with a certain quality of woman, and she didn't listen to you because you probably, I don't know how you was coming, but she just didn't listen to you for whatever reason. I don't know what the case may be. It's two sides to every story. Then you go over here dealing with this overseas chick, and oh, she semi-listening to you, and now you saying, oh, well, y'all don't listen over here. No, the type of woman that you was talking to in the United States did not listen to you for whatever reason, because we under a whole different set of circumstances here, brothers and sisters included. So it should almost be understood why she's not listening, because it's going to take time in order to get her to listen and trust you, because we didn't been in situations as black men in America to where the black woman has lost our trust, and it was systematic. So this should be understood. We let them down numerous times. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to protect. That's part of our role, you know, and systematically they put us in positions to where we were not able to protect them, you know, so now they lost the trust for us. And that's just reality. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just a fact of the situation. They lost the trust, and it was systematically designed to do that, or for that to happen. Let's not ignore history here. You know what I'm saying? When we start accusing these sisters of not listening to us, it's by design, fam. So we got to be patient. Yeah, that's my situation. She wasn't listening to me at first. I had a hard time. I say some things. 2 years later, somebody tell her the same thing. She listened. But did I give up on her? No. Because I'm just as stubborn. I don't listen. My pops don't listen. My brother don't listen. A lot of black dudes don't listen. So I'm not about to just sit here and be like, hey, these women don't listen. They ain't submissive, this, that, and the third. When I have a hard time listening. When I got to work on my approach. When I got to work on my communication skills. You know what I'm saying? When I got to work on all of these things. God damn, I see why sometimes the sister wouldn't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to tap into that. Sometimes my delivery could be off. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes my approach could be wrong. So I had to understand these things. I had to work on myself. I was in a situation, man, people look at my situation and be like, well, she all, no, man, plenty of times, man, this thing ain't start off with peaches and cream and all that. The same things y'all be accusing these women of, I dealt with all that, not listening, not wanting to follow the lead, things like that. Man, it's patience, fam. You got to be patient with these sisters, man. They done lost our trust because of what has happened over the years, fam. You got to understand what happened, man. We came here together. We came here together, man, and we, historically speaking, man, the black man has always been the strength. That's the strength of the nation. You want to get rid of the strength of the nation, guess what you do? You destroy the black man. The black man, the strength of the nation was destroyed in front of the women and children. So when the black woman is looking at the strength and like, dad, man, this dude can't even protect me. What you think she finna have to do naturally? We got to understand, like, we evolve, like it's part of evolution. Survival of the fittest. So that sister like, dag, man, they just killing these black men right in front of us. We got to survive. We got to adapt to these circumstances. And we 4, 5, 6 generations in on that type of mentality. So, man, it ain't going to be peaches and cream. It ain't going to be easy, fam. That's why I'm never giving up on these sisters. That's why I'm never giving up on these brothers. That's why I'm never giving up on us, because of what we done been through. We done been through it all. You know, and we had a duty to protect these women. That has been our duty, historically speaking. That has always been our role, to protect the women. And we got here and we didn't. And that's just what it is. So we lost the trust. They don't trust us, fam. They don't trust us. And this is historically speaking. You know, and we can deal with things like the collective unconscious. So unconsciously, that's how a lot of these sisters are thinking right now. They don't even know why they don't trust us sometimes. Because it's that collective unconscious. It stems from all of that from back then. That's why history is so important. You know, so y'all keep running at the mouth, telling these sisters that they don't listen, this, that, and the third, man. But it's like you gotta understand why they in this predicament and situation in the first place. And then ask yourself, do you listen? Are your communication skills on point? Do you know what the hell you talking about? Some of these sisters, some of them won't listen, but some of them ain't dumb either. They ain't just about to listen to anything you tell them. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you want. I done seen some of these Arabs. I done worked at the bank, and I done seen some of these Arabs coming to the bank with their wives, and these wives looking like they afraid for their lives. You know what I'm saying? They look like they fear for their lives. And then these Arab men out here cheating and everything, coming into the bank, flirting with all the tellers and whatnot. Those women are submissive, but man, they looking like they living the worst life on the planet. I see the fear in their eyes, but by definition, those are submissive women. You know what I'm saying? But I done seen the fear in their eyes. And then they dudes coming in the bank flirting with every woman that walk in there. That's what y'all want? That's what y'all want, man. I done seen that. I done seen that with Arab women. I done seen that with some Asian women. Matter of fact, I even got a situation in the bank where this Asian woman finally got fed up with her Asian husband cheating on her. She had put up with it for, man, that lady was like in her 50s or 60s or whatever the case may be. Man, said dude was cheating on her. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole time they was married. I forgot how long they was married and whatnot, but dude cheating on her the whole damn time. And she was putting up with it because that's like the culture and whatnot. She finally got fed up with it. She done had all type of health problems from dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she finally got fed up with it. She finally freed herself in that situation and whatnot. You know? But man, we gotta understand, man, we came in this thing together, man. We share a common bond with the sisters here in the wilderness of North America that we don't share with a lot of other cultures and whatnot. You know, so we gotta be patient with one another, man. We gotta be patient. Straight up. You want these sisters to be patient with you and accept you for all your flaws and whatnot. We gotta be patient with them. That whole not listening thing, I feel like, man, I don't really too much like that, but that be the main thing that dudes be talking about. At least from what I see, the main thing that gets pointed out is these women over here are submissive and these women over here not. That's the main thing I see. If y'all seeing something else, y'all can let me know. But that's the main thing. That's the main gist of what I see in regards to a lot of the dudes that I know personally or that I have seen that have went overseas and so-called comparing and contrasting women. They talk about being submissive and listening. You know what I'm saying? I had an argument and it almost got me. I almost had to slam my brother. But I had an argument in college, fam. But before I get into that, before I bring up that argument real quick, Diamond Nagasi, my brother, appreciate that. Appreciate the donation. Man, I almost had to body slam one of my bros in college because we had this conversation. Now, this wasn't no passport situation, but he was talking about why he like white women. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, I like to date white women because black women don't listen, this, that, and third. These white women, I say, boy, these white women will kill you. You know what I'm saying? They will kill you. Man, I be watching, listen, I be watching the ID channel. I be watching all the, man, these white women will kill you. I didn't watch these white women. The husband have an insurance policy. I didn't watch the wife creep with the white man's best friend, set up a plot, had a best friend kill the husband, get the insurance money, and like idiots get caught. I say, man, I don't know what y'all be on, what y'all be watching, but these women from these other cultures will kill you. Steve McNair cheated on his black wife. Y'all know Steve McNair, the football player. He cheated on his black wife with who? He cheated on his black wife with who? Somebody tell me the ethnicity of the woman that he was cheating, the mistress that Steve McNair was cheating on his black wife with. And what happened to Steve McNair? She shot that man in the head while he was sitting there asleep on the couch. Man, y'all better quit playing. Y'all better quit thinking these women from these other coaches ain't deadly. Steve McNair lost his life because he out here cheating on his black wife with somebody from another ethnic group. Y'all better quit playing, man. Everybody be thinking the grass is greener, man, like stuff won't happen to you. Y'all know Steve McNair, man. If y'all fans of football, y'all know what happened to Steve McNair. Let's deal in reality out here. We acting like these women from these other coaches, man, ain't liable to kill you. Yeah, these black women can kill you too, man, but they gonna put you on some child support. They might do that, but yeah, they can still kill you. But yeah, man, come on, these other ethnic groups, man, I'll be watching too many of that stuff, man. I'll be watching too many of that stuff, man. Y'all don't know what we on. You gotta tap in. This is you responding emotionally, fam. Because not once did I say raise a grown person, but to act like a grown person is supposed to just automatically come with everything intact ain't right and exact, because that's not the case. Everybody has flaws. Patience ain't got anything to do with raising another person, fam. I don't know where you heard me say we got to raise a grown person, but having patience by understanding history is not raising a grown person. It's having patience. You got flaws, fam. You not 100% perfect. So somebody gonna have to put up with your flaws, fam. And that's a fact, because you're not 100% perfect. I'm not. Nobody is. Nobody is. Everybody has flaws. Everybody has something that will have to be accepted from another person that they may not like, and we should all be striving to do the work to evolve and become better than we were yesterday. But that don't stop the fact that we have flaws. That don't stop the fact that we gonna commit errors. I'm gonna do some foul stuff today. I'm gonna do some foul stuff tomorrow. Next week, it's gonna happen. That's life, fam. That's life. But you gotta have patience with these people, especially when you understand circumstances. When you tap into the upbringing and things like that, like they tell you, it's a lot of psychology behind it. The way that you are today has a lot to do with your upbringing. So you got to analyze a lot. You know what I'm saying? This ain't got nothing to do with raising a grown person. It's being patient. It's understanding that we are all flawed. And if you see that the person is willing to put in some type of work, which you should be able to tell that very quickly, then it's like it's going to be all good, man. This little slip up right here, she not listening to me now, don't mean she won't listen to me later. You know what I'm saying? When you address it properly, like I said, I was in that, not being listened to. Then I had to address it a certain type of way. Now we good. You know what I'm saying? So the same things that I didn't heard dudes say about women, I've been in the same situation. Dudes act like, oh, since you married, like that never was the case. Like, no, fam, I was in the same situation, dealing with a woman that was not listening. All of this. I worked on my communication. I focused on myself. How can I deliver this better? How can I communicate these things better? And it has improved. I could have just gave up on her instantly when she didn't listen to me the first 3 times, whatever the case may be. I did not. I work on myself. I say, okay, how can I improve to get to improve this situation? And now here we are. I say something, she listens. It wasn't like that initially. I didn't raise her. I was patient and I worked on myself because I played a role into why she wasn't listening. If it would have went on any longer and she just wasn't listening, then we wasn't compatible. But nobody raised her. She raised herself. You know what I'm saying? She elevated herself. She evolved herself. And I worked on myself. And now here we are. But nobody raised an adult, fam. We worked on ourselves. But we had to communicate. Thorough communication. Like, nah, man, I'm telling you something, you not listening. Well, I don't like the way you said it. All right, cool. Let me work on that. I don't have to raise my tone when I'm trying to communicate to you. So I had to listen as a man when she let me know why she didn't receive what I said. But a lot of times dudes have ego and pride. When the sister tell you why she's not listening, we don't want to work on it. We want to say she's not listening. I done been told plenty of times, man, your tone, like you don't have to deliver the message like that. I get mad, like, nah, it don't matter how I'm delivering that. You just need to listen. But then I had to step back and say, you know what? Let me work on that. Let me work on that. Let me work on that. Let me work on my tone. You right. Ain't gotta raise my voice. You might be traumatized. I might be a trigger. Me raising my voice might have something to do with men in her past that did the same thing. She might associate that with violence. You know what I'm saying? It could be a bunch of different reasons why my tone is causing her not to listen. So let me change that up. But I had to listen to that. I had to listen to that feedback. That's what we got to do. Come on, man. We ain't got time to be playing, man. We got to stop all this nonsense, man. Ain't nobody talking about raising grown folk. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that. We ain't talking about babying a grown person. We talking about being patient. Patience and raising people ain't the same damn thing. Not at all. We want people to be perfect overnight. We want, because people got different perceptions of perfect, but we want people to come without flaws overnight. Like, no, that's not how that's gonna work, fam. That's not how it's gonna work. Lorenzo, my brother, appreciate that donation for sure. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, excuse the rant. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I feel like I got the message off my chest. Appreciate all the donations, man. Appreciate all the comments, man. It's all love, man. It's always love. You know what it is? But the passion sometimes just get the best of me. You know, so excuse the passion, man. But I gotta make my way back up to this gym, man. I gotta finish off the second half of my day and train my peoples, man. Get my people in the shape, man. So I'm gonna let y'all get back to enjoying the rest of y'all Wednesday. I'm gonna tap in whenever I tap back in, man. If you missed this joint, rewind that joint back, man. But y'all be easy out here. I'm out. Appreciate y'all. Peace.